Okay, welcome everybody, and many thanks to the Greenplast team for giving AMI the opportunity to host this conference. Delighted to be here. My name is Andy Beavers. I'm the Events Director at AMI, and I'm looking forward to hosting the sessions here over the next few days. Sustainability is at the core of what we in the plastics industry do. But there's still much to learn and much that still needs to be achieved. Any progress in this field really needs to involve the complete supply chain. Major improvements can't be made by one part of the industry alone. That's why events like this are vitally important to bring everyone together, to share information and build collaborations that will help create a greener future. Over the next 4 days, we'll be hearing from a brilliant lineup of speakers representing industry, research, and design, all working together towards delivering a more sustainable and circular approach to plastics. Thanks everybody for joining us. We hope you have an informative and enjoyable time here at the event. Before we start with the first session, I'm delighted to introduce Massimo Margarione, who is president of Amaplast and Greenplast, is going to say a few words of introduction. So over to you, Massimo.
Buongiorno signori, signore, colleghi, colleghe e ospiti. È con immenso piacere che vi do il benvenuto alla seconda edizione di questa manifestazione Greenplast. Oggi avviamo un'importante conferenza internazionale che si propone di analizzare un aspetto di cruciale importanza nelle nostre vite e che viene riassunto nel nome stesso che abbiamo scelto. Ah, inglese? Sì, ce l'ha in English. Okay, sorry I did not prepare nothing in English, but I'll try to. Welcome everybody. So thank you very much for being here today. So there was a very long speech, but I just shortcut today for you. So welcome for this event. It's the second time that Amaplast organize this event. Amaplast is the national association that collect the mold maker and, in general speaking, that equipment producer for plastic and rubber. Clearly, sustainability is extremely important in our life, not only in our industry, but in the daily life, in any aspect of our culture as well. So it's so crucial that we gave an important name to this event that is shaping a sustainable future for plastic, because this material that is always too often considered a problem for the environment actually is one of the main actors that can reduce the air pollution and the CO2 that we have in the environment. Generally speaking, our industry and the company that belong to Amaplast did a great job in order to approach the ESG criteria in order to face the problem that the European community is putting or asking to the industry. Italy, especially, is one of the most important countries that already recover and about 48% of the plastic that is thrown in the environment. So, and this result is one of the best results in the market, actually. But there are many other attitudes, not only the personal attitude. There is the reduction in the energetic consumption of the machine, and much more the the mechanical recycle and chemical recycle. And during this conference, we will enter into this aspect deeply. So the industry is acting really well in order to reduce the impact of the economy on the beautiful environment that we can have. So I don't want to bother you any longer, so I wish everybody a good job and a good conference. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks so much indeed, Massimo. Next, we have a welcome from Mauro La Cicera, the CEO of IPP and CSAP, who are kindly sponsoring the conference. So over to you, Mauro.
Good afternoon. Welcome again to everybody. I'm Mauro Sciascera. I'm the Managing Director of TUMIB Group that consists of EP, CESAP, and CESME. I will spend just a few words Okay, thank you. I will spend just a few words about the company that two of them are the sponsor of this event. EP, that is focusing on system and product certification and investigation, and also is performing lab testing for the validation of product and raw materials, plastics, rubber, paper carton, and also talking about sustainability, recycled polymeric materials. CESAP is focusing on training and consultancy, on one side about materials technology, so is matching, is complementary to EP, and then we work in supporting the companies, manufacturing companies in implementing best practice about world-class manufacturing with a specific focus on Lean Six Sigma methodologies, and then energy excellence program. The last one, and basically the latest is aging, is CESME. In that case, we complete our portfolio, supporting companies in business process engineering, change management, merger and acquisition, digital transformation, and executive coaching, always keeping in mind that sustainability is our polar star. This is basically, these are our target markets. So we move from, we start from technical products and manufacturing process to packaging, utilities, food processing, construction materials, and large-scale distribution. Deepening EP and CESAP network, we are unique in Italy. We are the competence center about polymeric materials. And we also are very active in strategic partnership even abroad. For example, we are a partner of SKZ German consortium. Just a quick history. EP started in 1966, so 70 years next year. And there is one common point between EP and CESAP, that Amaplast has been for many years one of the key associates. Last year in September, before in July, they moved to, they joined the TUMIB group, and then they changed the logo and the denomination last September. This is basically the wide portfolio of EP, so plastic, rubber, paper, cardboard, and then once again from certification, lab testing, up to training and technical support. Those are our labs. Basically, we test materials, we test product, we verify the compliance of those materials and product even to the food contact according the worldwide legislations. Sustainability. We support the companies in providing with assessment service to verify the compliance of their business model to the key teams of ISO 26000 scheme. Then we are the third year of the Master of Sustainability Manager. That is a program that is vertical to a plastic and rubber sector that has that supplies a wide spectrum of skills from raw material market analysis up to the selection and management of a supplier network. Again, sustainability. We are the first licensee in Italy of a Plastica Seconda Vita certification that supports companies in delivering products that are made of recycled materials or internally in the company, industrial recycling or end-of-wasting recycling. Then we also provide with a ISCC label that is an environmental product certification that works on traceability and content of recycled bio-based material or recycled bio-based material. Last one, we also work with, in releasing environmental product declaration based on the product life cycle assessment. That is basically the status of art, but for us is also the past. We are engaged in designing our future because, as Roy Bennett said, change do not always bring growth, but there is no growth without change. So let's target together the excellence. We are here to support your growth. Thanks.
Okay, thanks very much indeed, Mauro, and thanks again to IIP, CESAP and CESME for their support of the event. I'd like to invite the panelists to join me on the stage and we'll get straight into the opening discussion. Okay, so I'm delighted to open this conference with a discussion on the route to sustainability. Very pleased we have 3 experts in the field joining us today. I think what's really important is that they represent different parts of the plastics industry supply chain, from polymer production through processing and converting to end use. So it's going to be interesting hearing their different perspectives. First up, I'm very pleased to introduce Dario Toso. He's Circular Economy Manager at the Lavazza Group, who need no introduction as a leading roaster and global supplier of some very fine coffee products. The company is also in the retail business, operating a number of coffee shop chains. Dario has a PhD and more than 15 years' experience in product and packaging sustainability. He has been with Lavazza since 2019, and in 2023 he took on a pivotal role as the coordinator for its Coffee Circular Economy Centre, and he also assumed leadership of its scientific board. Next up, we have Dr. Stefano Besco, who is R&D Manager at Crocco, a leading producer of a wide range of flexible packaging, including stretch, cling, technical, and compostable films. Stefano, like myself, is a chemical engineer, and he obtained his PhD in industrial engineering at the University of Padua. In his current role at Crocco, he's responsible for product and process innovation projects, and also systems management for product safety and regulatory compliance. Completing our panel is Alessandra Colombo. She's head of Circular Economy and Sustainability at Versalis, in any subsidiary which produces polyethylene, styrenics, elastomers, and EVA. The company also carries out compounding and recycling. Alessandra has more than 20 years of industry experience and has held her current role since 2021, taking responsibility for ESG topics. She's also active in chemical association strategy groups and in the industry's relationship with authorities and institutions. So thanks very much to all 3 of you for joining us today. We'll get straight on with the first question, which is that sustainability means different things to different people. So I'd like to start this discussion by asking, what does it mean to you and your company? I'm going to start with Dario, and I know Dario's got a few slides that he'd like to show just about Lavazza's approach to sustainability. So if we can get those on the screen, we can hand over.
Yeah.
There
Thanks,
we go.
Andy.
Okay.
And thanks, everyone, for attending the panel. As Andy mentioned before, I'm the Circular Economy Manager at Lavazza. And I have a few slides here just to introduce you to the sustainability at Lavazza. Is something that started a while ago. So we decided to have the SDGs as a driver for our strategic plan. In particular, the 12 is about circular economy and sustainability of product. So when I joined Lavazza in 2019, I was dedicated to developing the roadmap for sustainable packaging at first, and then we scale up a bit the concept to other parts like the coffee machine and so on. So this is a picture from the just released sustainability report, and then we have three main pillars on sustainability, environmental sustainability, that are decarbonization, circularity, and biodiversity. In particular, about circularity, we have the roadmap for sustainable packaging, and this is a core. So today I saw a lot of products, interesting product about packaging, and we know that PPWR is changing a bit the rules, and it's a challenge. But thanks to the work we have done in the past 10 years, we are almost on a good path, I would say. And then it's about another new things we launched last year, another new initiative that is the Center for Circular Economy in Coffee. That is a pre-competitive initiative that aims to gather all the know-how about circular economy in the coffee sector and share to the value chain, because we learned that we cannot do everything by ourselves, so we have to engage the stakeholder and the value chain. And in this pre-competitive initiative, we are collecting the know-how and then trying to speed up the acceleration towards circular solution in the coffee sector, not just packaging or plastic, but all the coffee, even green coffee and roasted coffee. Then, just few words about the sustainable roadmap. So Lavazza introduced the first laminates in 1971. That was plastic plus aluminum. Very good in terms of shelf life, but difficult to be recyclable. So with a very hard work on the R&D aspects, together with the supplier and the other stakeholders, we were able to launch the first pack without the aluminum foil in the coffee sector in 2020. That is the first step of a roadmap that will bring us at the end of this year to have our portfolio designed to be recyclable. Just 4 pillars drive us through this path. The first one is related to decarbonization, so lowering the environmental footprint of our product, and then material reduction, and then circularity at the end. So I was mentioning PPWR. Maybe we can have some more time later to discuss, but this is a very interesting challenge for us, and I think for all the main companies related to packaging. Now there are other regulations beside PPWR that are driving the transition toward a more circular approach in the packaging and plastic sector. And then the technological innovation is also very, very important. So just to conclude this short presentation, giving the point about the packaging, that is a core part of our innovation in the circular approach. And then another part is a coffee machine, because last year we launched, 2 years ago actually, we launched the first coffee machine with 60% of recycled plastic inside and designed it to be easily disassembled and then maintained and recycled at the end of life. So this is just a quick picture about the Lavazza approach on sustainability.
Okay, thanks so much indeed. Yeah, and lots of interesting things there, and lots of things we'll be picking up in this conversation, and indeed in next presentations. We're going to be taking a detailed look at PPWR very shortly. But okay, on to you, Stefano. What does sustainability mean to you and to Crocco?
Thank you, Andy. Thank you also for your kind introduction. Yes, Crocco is a company with a long history. Let's consider that is active in the field of packaging for several sectors since the late 60s. And I can say also before my arrival, I arrived in Crocco 10 years ago, sustainability was very important for Crocco. It was a driver for all the projects. In the last 10 years, has become the main driver, I can say. Not only because it was in our DNA, but also because, as we saw, legislation and also the changes in the society are driving this aspect. In Crocco, the fact that sustainability became the main driver changes a little bit the structure with which sustainability is approached by the company. I mean that this project now has a well-defined structure that impacts several aspects. First of all, and this is my daily job, the new products we are developing. New products are going to be developed not only following the legislation path, but looking to the future, to what can be in the future, the new bar, the raised bar by the legislation. Not only products, but also the plants we use to produce our product, because we basically transform plastic into product. So we take plastic from producer, take machines, and put all together to make our product. The company made also huge investments in the renovating of the lines we use for our production. But the most important thing, in my opinion, is that we created new professional figure that were not present in the company before, 100% dedicated to sustainability. So to define the target together with the property, but also to follow how these targets are reached or not. And also to use instruments that are new certification that we didn't have before, regarding specifically the sustainability of the products and also of the processes. And also, as Dario mentioned, new instruments that we never be used to use before, as the instrument that allow us to measure the carbon footprint of our products. So nowadays we are able to measure the carbon footprint, the impact of all our product. Every kilo of product is traced by his impact. And last but not least, we made also a huge step in advance regarding communication. In the past, Crocco was not able to communicate his target, the step of his project, etc. And in the last years, due to the great job my colleagues did in this way, we became able to communicate by means of social medias, but also to dedicate the website what we are doing, what we'll do together, of course, with our customers.
Okay, great. And measuring the carbon footprint, is that something that your customers are increasingly asking for?
Not all the customer, of course, the most structured ones, but is something that is becoming more and more important. And yes, I think it will be something important to have in the future.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks so much for that. Alessandra, what does sustainability mean to you and to Versalis?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I would like to thank for the invitation, and it's a pleasure to be here in this panel, absolutely. For me, sustainability, just a few words, is our future, no? So for Versalis, for my company, sustainability is a fundamental pillar of the company's strategy. And it means to be a leader in innovations. It means then to to be a continuous evolving reality. No? And in this journey, the dialogue, you said in your introduction, dialogue, alliances, partnership is something that is becoming very, very important. And also outside the old business in which we thought about collaboration within the supply chain. Now it's something more extended, so also with partners outside the normal supply chain. And our longer-term sustainability goals are to build how to say, a solid and high-performing business. And how to do this? As I said, innovating with the development of new technologies, with the development of new solutions. So it means new, more sustainable products, also in order to react to the legislation that is asking more and more in this field, and generating value for all the stakeholders. What we are doing, we are completely transforming our business because we are developing new platform, new innovative platforms, in addition to the traditional production of the basic chemistry, the polymers, and other kind of solutions. These new platforms are the first on bioproducts, and this thanks to the acquisition of Novamont. In this way, we can offer solutions with bio-based products, biodegradable and compostable, and also with the development of new technologies and new plants. The second platform is related to specialization. So it means going down through the supply chain with high-performing solutions with a higher added value, and going through emerging markets, for example, markets related to the energy transition that are new for Versalis. And this is thanks to the acquisition of, for example, of Film Project and Technofilm. And the last platform is the circular platform, and in this case, with the development of proprietary technologies of plastics recycling in a complementary way, so either mechanical recycling and the more innovative chemical recycling.
Okay. Thanks very much. And again, some topics there that we're going to be exploring in a lot more detail over the next 4 days, like bioplastics and chemical recycling. So, yeah. Okay. Next question is on the pressures on the plastics and packaging industries to improve their sustainability are coming from many sides, from consumers, the media, NGOs, legislators, investors, and so on. How do you think the industry as a whole has responded so far, and what needs to happen next? And Stefano, would you like to go first on that one?
Thank you. Yes, the picture is right. The sustainability input is coming, in our case, from several sources, let's say. First of all, in our case, I can say from the customers, our company is a very customer-driven company. And in this case, I can say that we have the fortune to have very big companies as customers that are very for them, the sustainability is a very important topic. They are very well structured, and from their request, I think we've grown a lot in the last years. So it's very important to us to have these customers that have a long vision, also with targets that are before what the legislation will propose in the future. At the same time, we have also big suppliers in terms of companies, like for example Versalis. Also Versalis and other suppliers, as big companies, they have a relationship also with the end users. So also from their point of view, we can take suggestions that can be useful for us to develop our products. So it's important to have a cooperation between us, customers and suppliers to make teams that can allow to reach the results and the target we are putting on the table, for sure. These are more or less the actors that plays the game. Of course, there are the legislation with PPWR, we will discuss later, is define the roadmap from today to the future. So we have to follow this roadmap that has been defined. Regarding what industry did in the past years, I think I can say proudly that the plastic industry did very big efforts in order to put sustainability in their roadmap. Efforts made in a short time, because what legislation is asking for is a transition, but in times that are not so long, and it's not so easy for the industry without big efforts to reach the results that are expected. For example, I can make some example. I think 10 or 8 years ago, it was impossible for us to think to use recyclate, post-consumer recyclate in very high target application, like very thin film or film dedicated to technical application. Nowadays, it is a reality. We have customers that are purchasing this product we developed in very few years. So this forcing in shortening the times and raising the bar has led to very interesting results. Sometimes I can say it was a little bit, it was easy to interact with suppliers and customers. It was a little bit less easier to interact with the Commission, with the legislation, because what they asked was very, very challenging. So, but okay, the results are arriving, so I think we can be happy, we can be proud as industry of what we did in these years.
Okay, great. You talked a bit about the communication, how Crocco's stepping up the communication. Presumably that's an important part of this as well, just making sure that people know about what you're doing.
Yes, this is a matter of culture we have to build with people. Because nowadays we have a lot of information coming from the social medias, but from our point of view, it's important that these information are good information, based on scientific approach, in order to make people decide on the basis of something true. Because we know social media can influence people in a bad way or good way. So it's important for us, for the industry, and also for the end users, because as I mentioned before, Crocco doesn't go on the market with his product, but by means of his customers. So it's important that everyone make his job on this game, in order to build a culture for the people that will use the product.
Alessandra, what do you think? How has the industry responded to these pressures so far, and what needs to happen next?
Yeah, the pressure, I think, is high and clear. So, but I think that industry is responding and also is progressing fast. As Stefano said, from one side we have European legislation that force to go in this way, but on the other side, the sensitivity of industry has been changed. So now we are really changing our business model, for example, on a circular economy, on bioeconomy. So it's something concrete that we can see on the offering of of these new solution, the new innovative products. For example, as Versalis, we are concretely offering new innovative solution that could be also a reaction, an answer, and could anticipate what the legislation will require in the future. For example, the shifting, the substitution from a traditional raw material to something innovative that could have a recycled content, so could start from a secondary raw material deriving from a chemical or mechanical recycling technology, or could be derived by biomass, so could be a renewable one. So this solution means, I would like to really stress the concept of collaboration, because we have to think starting from the design of a product to the end of life. So we need really to have all the know-how, different know-hows along the whole supply chain. Okay. Yeah, I would say this.
Definitely, yeah. Thanks so much.
And yes, on transparency, on information, then perhaps we will discuss later. So
yeah.
This is another important element, because if we offer this kind of products, we have to assure that the quality, let me say the sustainability is not the correct word, but just to be clear, is really included into these products. So
sure, absolutely. Thanks for that. Dario, obviously you're with a consumer-facing business, a well-known global brand. So in some ways the pressures are different and maybe more intense on your business. So perhaps you could talk about the response to that.
Yeah, thanks. But first of all, I think this is quite an exciting time for sustainability, because I have been in the sustainability business for more than 15 years now. And then when I started as a consultant for some companies, mainly in Italy, for supporting them to structure about the sustainability roadmap. But at that time, so just 15 years ago, it's not a long time ago, there was no this kind of pressure on sustainability, and now things are moving very fast. So things are happening, and we are listening that we have company here that are putting in place circular economy actions. And yeah, from a brand owner perspective, there is a lot of pressure. But fortunately, at Lavazza, we started a while ago to drive the sustainability roadmap. We are anticipating PPWR for the packaging regulation, and also we are in advance to the ESPR for the eco-design of coffee machine. And also it's very interesting because so sustainability have to be pragmatic. So putting something that is concrete in place, and Lavazza Group invested more than 25 millions only on the machinery lines to machine the new packaging with new material that are ready to be recyclable. So it's a strong commitment, and that's why I'm saying that today it's quite exciting, because things are finally happening, and the pressure is high, and I think it's also good to have some pressure sometimes to move faster. And the consumer are more mature, so recyclability now it's for granted. So we don't have to claim that the packaging is recyclable, because people expect that the packaging have to be recyclable. So I think it's a good time for sustainability.
Okay, well that leads neatly on to my next question. This debate's about strategies and particularly how this fits into sort of wider business strategies. So do you see these environmental pressures as a threat to your business or as an opportunity for development and growth? So Alessandra, do you want to go first on that?
yeah, absolutely an opportunity, absolutely, because it's a big challenge, This is clear. It's a big challenge, and the journey has not been finished, so it's still in progress. But absolutely an opportunity because, for example, Versalis is trying to make this as a catalyst of innovation, no? In order to be a leader in these new solutions, and so absolutely an opportunity to go in new markets, new emerging markets, and evolving. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I guess
Not easy, easy, but should be an opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's interesting that you say it kind of sparks innovation and moving into new markets, because in some ways the core business is really quite mature, and polyethylene is polyethylene and styrenics are styrenics, but this is kind of forcing you to go into things like chemical recycling and new markets.
Yeah, it's really a transformation,
Yeah.
no? So a completely transformation of our industrial processes in order to optimize the existing technologies, because we cannot shift
Yes.
from now to tomorrow in new technologies. So optimizing the existing technology, but also developing new technologies in order to offer a more extensive portfolio and solutions.
Sure.
Yeah.
Dario, do you see this as a threat or an opportunity for Lavazza?
I think definitely it's an opportunity. It's super challenging because I mentioned the investment that are behind the change, and it's not easy for a company to really to define a path, because now we have the PPWR for packaging. That it's quite challenging because there is still some uncertainty behind the delegated acts and where to go, but it's an opportunity to innovate.
Yeah.
And that's I think it's the main opportunity we have today, beside the environmental benefits we can take out of that. But of course, I think it's a big opportunity.
I guess there's a bit of a balance there in that you can use it as an opportunity to kind of gain a competitive advantage, that you have a greener product, but also you talked about how the coffee industry is working together and sharing that knowledge. So it's kind of that balance of what's for the greater good, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. So I strongly believe in pre-competitive initiatives in order to speed up and accelerate the transition towards a circular economy. That's why we established the center together with other partners in the coffee sector, and we are now sharing good practices on a shared platform, so people can just be inspired by innovation and then start developing new things.
Yeah. I mean, we do a lot of conferences in different areas, but the sustainability and recycling one's always good because people do want to share that information rather than kind of gain a competitive advantage. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Stefano?
Personally speaking, for me, it's absolutely an opportunity. It creates my job for the next years, so I'm a researcher. No, I'm joking. It's an opportunity for who understood the opportunity from the beginning. In our case, in advance, we started to select the right supplier for the new materials required for sustainable product, building a relationship with the customers. Now the results are arriving. We developed the product, and we got shares of market we didn't got before. So it was absolutely an opportunity. At the beginning, it was not like this, because I remember a few years ago there was a sort of a critical position against some material, for example plastic, not based on data, on scientific data, but more on a position not supported by data or by. This is a treat, in my opinion, because everyone can have his own idea, his own position, but it must be supported by something supporting this position, because otherwise in the future we can face problems if we don't. Okay.
Next question is, what particular steps have your companies taken to improve sustainability? Perhaps more importantly, how do you prioritize initiatives? So we'll start with Dario. You've talked about a lot of the good things that Lavazza is doing. How do you prioritize when there's so many different things you can do to improve sustainability?
Yeah, it's quite difficult because we are a coffee company, so coffee has number one priority, and now we are here at the Greenplast, so that is part of the sustainability plan that Lavazza is doing. So we have a high attention on coffee and the first part of the value chain, but referring to plastic, I think the main two topics are of course packaging and the coffee machine. Regarding packaging, plastic could be seen as an enemy because of plastic pollution. But we have to be clear that plastic till today is one very useful material. It's the way it's designed that can change and lower the problem, especially related to end of life. So this is a very high priority, to design a packaging that can be recycled and then keep in the loop, as well as the coffee machine. So I don't think there is a sustainable material by itself, but every material can be designed to be sustainable, and also plastic have a big role in the sustainability for now.
Great. Stefano?
In Crocco, we had the intuition from the beginning to build a project that take together all the projects involved by the sustainability. We call this macro project Green Side. Green Side, as the green side of the company, is playing with words. Because we understood that it was not only a matter of developing new product. We have to certify this product. We have to involve people that 100% dedicated their job to sustainability measurement, defining KPIs, etc. So all this project is inside the framework of this Green Side project. So after having defined the framework, we started to define the KPIs. We started to define the resources in terms of people, in terms of materials, of lines, etc. And last but not least, what I mentioned before, the communication, that for our company was a change of paradigm, because we were not used to communicate as today in the past. So Project Greenside has his own website in which we communicate all the steps of the project, and also social media channels in which we put more or less the same information, but by means of other channels. So, okay, for us, the key point was the understanding that it was a project involving a lot of functions inside the company that has to be linked below a same vision.
Okay. Alessandra, how do you prioritize?
Yeah, for Versalis, it's important to follow and to extend the three innovative platform. These are our priorities. So in terms of circularity, in terms of biochemistry and specialization. For example, for circularity, we need to do concrete action. So not only to have products, but also to build from an industrial point of view also new plants. So for example, in Porto Marghera we just open the new mechanical recycling plant for styrenics, and then we will go through also other kind of polymers. And for chemical recycling, we will soon open the demo plant in Mantova and then scale up with an industrial plant in Priolo. But to do this, I would say these priorities are clear for us, but we need also a supportive external context, starting from a clear legislation, because we are doing investment and we need not to then to have changes in our way. So it's important to have a clear direction. For example, to have also simplification in terms of authorization and something like this. So we have clear our priorities. We cannot do alone. We need a general context that follow and is supportive in order to reach our goals.
Okay, great. Thanks very much indeed. I'm very sad to say we've run out of time. So we had lots more to discuss, but unfortunately we need to wrap up. In fact, the next thing we were going to discuss was regulatory issues, which we're going to explore a lot more in the next presentation, which will be starting in a few minutes. We're going to have a short break just while we hand over. But please join me in thanking our panelists for some really interesting views. Great to get the perspectives from across the supply chain. So thanks again to Dario, Stefano, and Alessandra for their participation in this discussion. Thanks very much.
Thank you.